quite a surprise this morning as we gathered all of our Catholic school principals from around the Archdiocese, all 200 principals. We gather each year to celebrate Catholic education and its contribution to the church and frankly to the country. We really work very, very hard. And were it not for our pastors and principals, we wouldn't be where we are today. But today was particularly special. Cardinal Dolan joined as the principal celebrant, along with Bishop Benici and Bishop Whalen and Monsignor Lamorte. And there was a surprise guest. My wife showed up unexpectedly, and it was very touching to have her with me on this special day. This is really about Catholic schools. It's not about me. After 50 years of being in Catholic education, I look back on it and I think of all the thousands and thousands of folks that I worked with over the years that made Catholic schools what it is today. So really, this isn't as much about me. This is about us. This is about Catholic educators around the country, and particularly here in the Archdiocese of New York, supported by Cardinal Dolan. There's no one who is a more vocal advocate of Catholic education in the country than Cardinal Dolan, and we have been so blessed to have him and his support and his leadership. And when I was thanking everyone at Mass this morning, I did choke up, and the time I choked up was thinking about the dozens and dozens and dozens of phone calls I had with the Cardinal, my private conversations with the Cardinal. He so loves our Catholic schools and recognizes on behalf of the Universal Church the importance of our Catholic schools. So it was gratifying to have everybody there today.
Mike leaves behind a legacy of servant leadership. It's one of 50 years of dedication to students, to teachers, to principals, and really to our Catholic school community, not only in the Archdiocese of New York, but also to the state. He has been a leading voice for Catholic schools across the country, and for me personally, he's been just a dear friend and a mentor.
His tremendous institutional knowledge of Catholic education, our schools, our principals. He knows every principal, he knows the teachers. It's the human touch, I think, that impresses me the most, how much he cares about the staff, how he finds moments to connect with them, even though he, oversees 100 people in the Department of Education. He's magnificent.
This is a big and complex school system, and so it's everybody that works here works very hard. But with Mike as the leader, you really feel supported, you feel empowered, you have a mentor, you have a shoulder to cry on, and you have somebody who can impart such great wisdom. And I have really, really enjoyed experiencing that over the last 5 years. So I'm just grateful to him for giving me the opportunity. I think, I have a unique background in that I did work in investment banking for many years before I stopped to have children. And when I went back to the workforce, I chose to come back through the Catholic Church and through schools. And so it has been a really nice blend of sort of the practical business skills with a really mission-driven work that just gets me out of bed every day, and as hard as the last 5 years have been, certainly the last 3 with COVID, it's all worth it. And Mike really makes it a very special place to work. We're going to miss him desperately, but I'm confident he's going to leave us in good hands.
He was the right man at the right time during COVID. When the lockdowns happened, Mike Deegan was not just able to make the tough calls, he was willing to make the tough calls. And having worked in government and worked in politics and seeing what it takes to be a great leader, Mike Deegan showed all of those characteristics from the day that and I was in the room, from the day when he made the choice on Thursday, the 12th of March in 2020, to shut down the schools. He was ahead of the public schools. He was ahead of the charter schools. He made that call, and he did everything necessary, took every next indicated step to make all the right choices so that we could be up and running within 2 weeks remotely. Didn't skip a beat. We graduated 8th graders that year. We went and we re-enrolled our students, and then in September of 2020, we were open. We were the only game in town. We were the only schools open in New York. And that is a credit to Mike Deegan's willingness to pivot and make the tough calls, his ability to do it, his ability to gather the right people at the right time. So as we go forward and look to enhance Catholic education and make all the investments necessary to reimagine it in some ways, the only reason we're in that position now is because Mike Deegan saved us during COVID.
It's hard to believe it's been over 40 years. Mike and I were at principal camp together. We remember that, and the nuns in charge and towing the line. And all through the different schools where he was principal, where I was principal, we always kept in touch. We always shared things. And I think to this day, Mike's greatest strength is that he never forgot how to become a principal. I can talk to him. I talked to him last night about stuff going on in my school. And he always has good insights. He always has good advice. And again, I think that's his greatest strength. He's been one of us. He stayed one of us. And he was always there for all of us.